Tonal context, according to Gordon. Review, skills, context, content. Those are the three main elements of a music learning theory-inspired curriculum. Skills, what are students doing? They're echoing patterns, they're improvising, they're reading, they're writing, they're translating. Context, everything that happens in music hangs upon the structural confines of the context of music. Tonally, that means the tonal context. What tonality are we in? Rhythmically, the context is the meter. What meter are we in? And content is the patterns that we're learning within specific tonal or rhythmic functions. So today we're talking about tonal context. And by tonal context, I mean tonality. What is the tonality of the music that we're audiating? A tonality is what is typically referred to as a mode. Some might say major is a mode, minor is a mode, but we also have other modes. We have Dorian, Mixolydian, Phrygian, Lydian, Aeolian, Locrian. So if we say to students that a piece of music is in the key of C, we just need to clarify, do we mean C major, C minor, C Dorian, C Aeolian? So there's a difference between a tonality, what Gordon would call a tonality, and what he would call a keyality. Now a lot of people get bothered by the word keyality, and I suppose you could just say key. But please make a distinction between the tonality, aka major, minor, Dorian, Phrygian, and key, where the tonality happens to reside. We can have C major, C minor. We can have D Dorian, E Dorian. The key is where it happens to fall pitch-wise, either in your voice or on an instrument. Now, a tonality is defined by the resting tone. A resting tone is simply the tonal center of the piece of music. Now, the tonalities are classified and organized in relation to their resting tone using movable do solfege with a la-based minor. Now, movable do is a very effective verbal association for tonality because the half-step relationship between mi and fa and ti and do remains consistent throughout all of the tonalities, with the slight exception of the raised leading tone C in harmonic minor. Now, tonality can be either subjective or objective. If a tonality is objective, then there is consensus and agreement about the tonality. For example, if we're listening to Mary Had a Little Lamb, I don't think there's any difference of opinion that it is indeed major tonality. But if I started to play something like this, there might not be consensus about where the resting tone actually lies, and therein, what is the tonality? Now, some other words about the modes. A lot of people think that Dorian, for instance, is just D to D on the white keys of the piano. Why do they think that? Probably because that's the way it's taught in college. This is Dorian. And Dorian is often thought of as a scale rather than a tonality with its own tonal center and its own harmonic functions. For example, listen to this simple song in Dorian tonality. Yes, it follows those same notes from D to D on the white keys of the piano, but there are also underlying harmonic functions. You've got tonic, subtonic, tonic, subdominant, tonic. And the chords are derived from maintaining that same relationship between ti and do and mi and fa. Ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-da-da-da. Ba-dum, ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. Ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-da-dum, bum. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Ba-da-da-dum, ba-da-da-dum, ba-da-da-da-da-da-dum, ba-da-da-dum, ba-da-da-dum, ba-da-da-da-da-da. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. To get teaching ideas and notation for this tune and many others, check out my book, 50 Tunes for Teaching. Techniques that support tonal context. Now, context in music is just as important as context in language. If you walked into a room and someone looked at you and said, "Fred is going to go." Who is Fred? Where is he going? You walk into the room in the middle of a conversation and you have no idea what they're talking about. Well, if I just played to you, well, it's like walking into a room and having no idea what anybody's talking about, because this doesn't make any sense until you're given the rest of the information. Is it? Or is it? Or is it? So one simple thing that you can do before you sing songs is establish context. Lots of different ways that you can do it. You can just simply go. You can just go 1, 5, 1 on the keyboard, and you're not naming anything, but at least you're establishing some sort of frame of reference for your students. Or minor. You could use Dr. Gordon's tonal sequence, which sounds like this. Major. Sol, la, sol, fa, mi, re, ti, do. Minor. Mi, fa, mi, re, do, ti, si, la. Those pitches, 5, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 7, 1, contain all the tonal information you need in order to accurately establish tonality. I learned this from Allison Reynolds. Have a resting tone, button. So if you're in an elementary school classroom, this always represents the resting tone, and students will sing bum or do. You can do all kinds of songs, and anytime you stop, have the kids sing bum. And you can do this in any tonality. Phrygian. Ya da dum bum bum ba da da bum. If you're in a preschool class and you watch Heather Kirby teach or Natasha Sigmund teach, they'll always go something like this. Yum ba da dum bum 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 bum. Bum. Yum ba da dum bum 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 bum. Bum. I teach high school choir, and I'm constantly asking even my high school students to sing do in between the phrases of songs. Today we were doing the Star-Spangled Banner. Oh, say, can you see? Stop. Sing the resting tone. Do. By the dawn's early. Sing do. Do. When you're doing learning sequence activities, try the technique of having students only sing the resting tone. Resting tone. With this skill, you will listen to a pattern and sing only the resting tone on bum. Bum, bum, bum. Bum. Bum, bum, bum. bum, 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 bum. This skill is important because it forces your brain to hear comparisons between different pitches and the resting tone, which will provide an aural anchor for each tonality. And that is really powerful, having them hear sol, fa, re, ti, and reply with do. That really truly drives home the concept of context. In the next video on tonal content, we'll go through major and minor tonalities and some of the others and talk about the specific harmonic functions that are really, really important to teach students and the patterns that exemplify those functions. We'll see you then. Are you a music teacher interested in teaching from an audiation perspective? Then the faculty library may be just what you need. It has all of my patterns, tunes for teaching, and teacher videos all in one place. Scan the QR code or click below to find out how to take advantage of all the great resources for your classroom in the faculty library.